Uh-oh. Hello. Okay, I was like interrupted for just a moment and it said I could reconnect, so I did that. So anyway, I'm Angel Balance. I'm Life Fit Mama. You're on my Facebook page, and I like to share all of my mom solutions, and this is one of them. How to live life fit and healthy, but without it having to sacrifice all the things that are important to you in life other than the fact that you want to get healthy and fit. Hey, Dawana. So I'm going to share with you kind of like a part 2 of what I started last night. So I jumped on kind of really impromptu. It was unplanned. I just kind of wanted to share with you last night what I was doing to get like a mini meal prep going for the week, because I'm in an 80-day program. I'm with my challengers and my fellow teammates, and we have some goals that we're all working on. We're helping keep each other accountable. And one of the ways that I know to stay and stick to my meal plan is to try to not only plan meals ahead, so meal planning, but also prepping. So that just means that I'm preparing some of the food that I'm going to eat throughout the week ahead of time. Now, my approach to meal prep is to make sure that my lunches are taken care of, right? So I make sure that when, by having my lunches already made ahead of time, I'm able to come in often from teaching classes. So, you know, I've already burned through my calories, and I'm you know, it's getting close to noon, sometimes 11:30 or so, sometimes 1. Life isn't perfect, and it's time for me to eat, and I'm hungry, and I need something that I can grab like right out of the fridge and, you know, or just throw into a skillet like really quickly to cook or heat up and get in my belly, that I know is going to fuel me properly for the rest of the day, okay? And so I see this so many times because I've been victim to it, and so I recognize it in other people and I understand the struggle. But do you sometimes feel like you come home and, you know, whether it be from a long morning in church or a long day of work or running errands all throughout the day, and you come home and you're starving hungry, like you're like, man, I'm famished, I feel so hungry, and you just want to reach for the first thing, and the brain is like, you know, and it's like, I've read up on it, it's not like this crazy, you know, thing, it's a real thing. Your brain is going to say, reach for that muffin, reach for that, just have a quick sandwich, or, you know, eat a slice of cake and then have your lunch or whatever, because sugar is like real easy to just take and the body to burn through and use for energy, but it does have its side effects. So I'm sharing with you, hey babe, that's my husband who just jumped on. I'm sharing with you how what I did last night is kind of setting me up for success for the rest of the week, in hopes that it provides some clarity for you from what we did, from what I was talking about last night, where I was just using my words and not really I've shown you a few things of what I was planning to do. This is the actual other side of it, so you see it in action and how it helps me, okay? So I prepped ahead 4 meals for the week, okay? Now, 4 to 5 is a great number for me. It's ideal for me. And this was really easy for me to do. So I had cooked up a chili for all of the family last night to eat. But while I was cooking before I added all the chili stuff to the ground meat, I cooked like a double batch of ground meat. And I reserved some of, after it all cooked down, I reserved some of that ground meat out of the pot, and then added all my chili fixings in, and I let the chili continue to cook. But then I had the meat that I had reserved, I actually took and portioned out into my little containers. Now these little guys, I'm gonna duck in and out a little bit. I have several of these that came in a real big pack. There's like, and they come with lids. Okay, and they're just compartmentalized. I found them on Amazon. There's so many different versions. You just kind of find one that you feel like will fit with how you want to do your meals, you know. But they, for me, obviously, I mean, you could bring them to work with you. If you are someone who has to work outside the home, you could go ahead and fix these up with all your meals and bring them with you to work. and a little, you know, and then heating them up when you need. They're microwavable, dishwasher, and the whole thing. Now, obviously, I get to eat at home, right? I get to work from home and eat from home. So, but I still like to use them because I was able to basically all of my vegetables, all of my meat, my healthy fats, everything is ready for me. And it's going to simplify my, I'm closing the fridge door, simplify my lunch routine. So when I get home, I'm not like, oh, what am I going to eat? And I just reach for the first thing, right? That's why a lot of times I wind up cooking eggs. First thing, eggs and bacon, because I can just grab it and throw it in the skillet. But if I don't want to have to take that extra time to cook, then, or I want to change up that routine and I want to eat eggs all the time, then I need some other solutions. So for this week, I took that ground meat that I had reserved in a, from my chili pot, and I put it in this little container, okay? And then I made sure that I had my chopped bell peppers and some chopped tomato, some diced tomatoes, chopped tomatoes, and I just split an avocado in half. And I'm going to show you that I have another one that looks just like that. Hold on just a minute. Already in the fridge, see? So this is how I'm going to use these. I'm about to show you how I'm going to use all these to make my taco salad for the day. And this is going to give me 2 really big taco salads. And this is the other tip that I can give you, is that if you do meal prep where you're prepping your lunches ahead of time, pick foods that you love to eat, okay? The other meal, so that when, you know, the reason why is so that when you get home, you're not like, oh, I don't really feel like eating that. I know it's healthy, but I shouldn't. You need to go for foods that you enjoy eating, that you could eat any day of the week. Ask my husband, ask my kids. I could have Mexican anytime, anytime. So, taco salad for the win. So that's the first one. The other one that I made 2 of, and here's my 2 containers, and you can see it's all packed in there. I'm going to take the top off just so you can kind of see. But I talked about it in my video. I did cauliflower rice instead of white rice. And so I'm getting an extra vegetable serving by doing that. I put another portion of that ground meat that I had cooked down and reserved out. I put it, yeah, every day, he said. So I put that over that, right? And so that's like I kind of mentioned it in who's from the South? Any Southern people? You like that rice and gravy and the brown, you know, the ground brown meat, dirty rice kind of comfort food. This is like my simulated, healthy, right? So, but it's a way for me to get my extra vegetables in. So instead of getting a protein and a carb, a grain carb, I'm getting a protein and a vegetable carb by using the cauliflower instead. And there's good healthy fats in there. I cooked the cauliflower rice in the skillet with lots of EVO last night, okay? Extra virgin olive oil. And then I had roasted, I shared pics of this in my Instagram stories, but I'll share a picture later with a recipe. I had roasted some balsamic Brussels sprouts and onions. And these are big chunks of onions. Okay, and Brussels sprouts, and I literally just salt, pepper, and olive oil, put them in the oven, let them bake whole even. This is my first time doing them whole. I usually take the time to have them, but I was like, man, I wonder if I could save some time, and it did. It worked out perfectly. So, and put them in the oven at like 425 for like maybe 40, 45 minutes at the most. Like I just kind of watch them, and when they get a little bit brown and a little bit tender, a little bit crisp tender, then I take them out. Because when I heat them up in the microwave later, you know, tomorrow, this is going to be my meal, then it will cook it even more. And I want as much of the nutrients in my food as possible. So that is one other little tip that I'll give you, is if you cook beforehand, it's okay to undercook just a little bit if you plan on microwaving it. You'll get more nutrients out of it anyway when you do. All right, so I put that back in the fridge. Now, another thing, yes, it's stinky, but it's okay. The other thing that I had done was I had cooked some sweet potatoes, but 2 different ways. So I had mentioned that I was baking sweet potatoes, and I had done just enough for us to be able to have a family meal. And once they were done baking, I just wrapped that. I lined it with aluminum foil so it wouldn't make a big mess in the pan. And once it was done baking, I just wrap it up, fold it over, and I use the pan to store it in the fridge. The other 2 sweet potatoes I had diced up and sauteed in some butter did I do butter? Yes, I did butter in the pan. And the reason why I did butter and not, was because that way I can make this sweet potato either more savory or more sweet by adding, I can melt a spoonful of coconut oil over it and sprinkle cinnamon, and it'll be like kind of like a little dessert for me. Or I can keep them plain as is, or I can even add a little salt and pepper, and you'd be like, was this sweet potato? But yeah, you'd be surprised. It's actually really good. If you top your sweet potatoes with like some chopped green onions or cilantro, it's actually surprisingly really good. Now, the other thing I can tell you is that I plan on using it savory-wise in a hash. So like instead of white hash browns, I plan on taking some of this chunky chopped sweet potato. Again, they're like not cooked all the way because I knew I planned on heating it up later. But on one of the days that I come home, I want to have eggs and serve my fried eggs over my sweet potato hash, which is going to be the sweet potato with some of my spinach, which does not take long to cook down if I just add a handful of spinach in there. I can add in some Italian sausage for more, seasoning, and with that sweet potato, it's gonna be so good. Or I can do bacon. So it's with that one, I have a little bit more of a freestyle, like come in and make what I want when it, and kind of feed the cravings, right? For whatever it is that what kind of flavor I'm craving most at that moment. But I love having it already kind of out like this because it's going to be really easy for me. And you know that I live by these little containers. It's going to be really easy for me to know that this is my carb portion. I can scoop out the sweet potatoes. They're already done for me. Put it on my plate, heat it up, and I'm good, okay? So, on to my taco salad. You ready? You ready? Oh, one more thing that we did to kind of make life easy. Now, I said that Donald is in charge of baking the chicken because he has proven himself to be much more talented and skilled at baking the chicken. Hey, Mama Lena. Mama Lena makes some mean chicken too, some mean baked chicken. But Donald has proven that Daddy is better at baking chicken than Mom. So, but what we did do was we buy the big packs at Costco, the big sleeves, so that we can get multiple meals out of it. So like half that sleeve gives us 2 different family dinner meals. So that's 4 for like one big pack. So we're able to kind of spread our grocery budget out a little bit by doing that. And what I did was I cut the sleeve in half. This is half. There's 3 more of these in the freezer. So I cut that sleeve in half and we put the first half in the freezer to freeze and save it for next week's meals. And then we put the other one in here for this week's meals. We put it in the fridge so it can thaw slowly and it'll be ready for whenever we want to. The kids said they want a barbecue chicken this week, and so most of the time we'll cook that and then we'll serve it up in one night, and then we'll have it again the next night, or we'll save it for the night after that and have something in between to kind of break it up, okay? So the things on meal plan this week, we had chili, we had chicken, we had the barbecue chicken, which we knew was going to take up at least 2 nights. Chili, we made some yesterday. We'll have that for another night. We're big on leftovers, on making sure that we, eat all the meals, but we'll reinvent it when we need to. And then what was the other one? The girls wanted shrimp Alfredo. Now, obviously, I'm going grain-free, but what I had said last night in my meal prep part 1, 5A, he's got a conference call, was that instead of the pasta with the rest of the family, I'll just have more to help me get more veggies in and help me right now whenever I'm avoiding grains and extra sugars in my diet is I am going to have it with some of that cauliflower rice. Now, I sauteed a big old thing of cauliflower rice and I thought that it was going to give me 3 or 4 servings. It only gave me 2. I underestimated it. So I have a whole nother bag of the other half of the bag of the cauliflower rice left, and all I have to do, it's frozen because I went ahead and put it in there, but it sautés down so quickly. I know that the night that we decide to have shrimp Alfredo with the kids, I'm gonna saute down some of this stuff and have my shrimp over this with the butter and the garlic and the whole thing, right? Okay. So here's the other thing. Here's how we're doing the taco salad. Okay. So I've kind of walked you through the meals for the week. The other protein, other than chicken that we got, was the ground beef, which we're using for the chili. And then I always kind of reserve the right to throw in there if we get to Friday and we still feel, or Saturday, and we still kind of feel like cooking. We usually do something really easy with that ground meat, like burgers, okay? So not overthinking it, just going for super simple, straightforward meals. I don't like complicated recipes. It's life is busy sometimes, and this week is a busy week for me. So this is my lunch. I'm finally on to my taco salad, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. But I wanted to make sure you got that part 2 to my meal plan prep from yesterday. This is how it's making my life easier. I come home, okay, and it's time for me to eat. And I'm hungry, and I don't want to reach for the easy, quick, fixed kind of meals that don't nutritionally satisfy me, and they don't do anything for my goals. Not for my fitness and health goals, okay? So you know, stop grabbing the Pop-Tarts, stop grabbing the cereal and just saying, oh, I'll just have a bowl of cereal. Not grabbing the muffins that you bought for the kids and all that, or like finishing off hot dogs or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go on purpose nutrition. That's part of the thing with this 80-day plan, is that I have to be, anytime you're part of a plan, you're talking about saying, I'm going to get intentional, and we're calling it obsessed, but we're going to get intentional about our health and nutrition for over these 80 days, and we're 7 days in. So anyway, I have that ground meat, and I had already chopped up the peppers and the tomatoes, and I just sliced that avocado in half, and I put it in there. And this is how I'm going to put it together. I'm grabbing my trusty container that tells me this is 1 full serving of vegetables, whatever fills this up, and I'm grabbing my spinach, and I know that I want to have a minimum, I need 3 greens right now, okay, and 3 vegetable servings right now. This is a little bit under 1 vegetable, and this is just at about 1/2 of a vegetable, so maybe 1 1/4 right here. So I know that I want to get at least 2 of these here, right? So I'm going to put that down in my bowl, and this is helping me make sure that I don't make a smaller salad of vegetables than what my body needs, and I also don't overeat and make it so big that I wind up overdoing it on my dressing and everything else, or just eating over in general. So now that's my 2 there, and now I'm going to add in my 3 1/4. So I'm going to put it in over top, real easy. See, it's so easy. Like, I already did the work, so all I got to do is put it on top. Now I left the seed in this one. The other one, the seed wasn't there. I don't know if you know this trick. Somebody taught me this. If you jab the knife into it and turn, it plops right out. So, and then by keeping it in there, I squeezed a little bit of lemon juice over it last night before I put it in the fridge. And by keeping it in the skin, it helps preserve. With that lemon juice, it helps preserve it so it's not browning. And I diced it within the peel. I didn't know that until my aunts taught me that, like some years back. So now I get to spoon it out just like that, and I'm going to put it on my salad. And while I do that, y'all can I'll turn you just a little bit. You get to see my messy counter. But I'm going to go ahead and heat the meat up, because I like my meat warm on my taco salad. And it's just going to take a couple of like 30 seconds. Will give me just enough time to finish this avocado, scooping it out, putting it on my bowl. And so what I'm going to do is, after I got my avocado in my bowl, I am I did this because I knew that I was also a little bit short on measuring out my protein, my ground beef last night in my red container and then putting it in my meal container. That I needed a little bit more meat today to make all the proteins that I need for my meal. So I took out the leftover chili, and I used to eat this chili taco salad at Logan's Roadhouse years ago. I worked there. Many of you may not know I worked there through college to pay my way. And so I love the people. I love the energy. Definitely wasn't like the long-term job that I wanted, but loved my time there. And one of the salads that I used to eat all the time was this chili salad. So we would literally like warm up a bowl of chili and pour it over our salad. So that's what I'm going to do. But let me grab that ground beef out of the mic. And I'm pouring it just right over onto, see? Whoop, whoop. Okay. So, nice taco salad. Now I'm going to take my chili, my little extra ground beef, and it's got some onions and stuff in there too, which is why I went ahead and filled up my protein container. But look how good that looks. And then I wanted some black olives to help me get my orange container in, which is one of the healthy fats that we get to eat, usually with seeds and stuff will go in there, or dressings. And the one thing I do want is some pickled jalapenos. I love pickled. Do you like spicy food? I like some spice, but I don't like to be too crazy. But I have a thing about pickled jalapenos. In my hometown, there's this restaurant called Casa Mañana. Not healthy, probably. Not the healthiest place for me to say, like, you know. But they do have some healthy things on the menu. But growing up, okay, in my hometown, like, everybody went to Casa Friday nights, on the weekends. My parents still, every time they drive into town, that's where they go. Almost every time we drive into town, we make a trip there. It's just the place to go for, like, Mexican food. And they have the pickled jalapenos that they would put with their cheese sauce, and, like, their cheese sauce is, like, secret recipe or something. It is, like, grade A. I mean, just most awesome, okay? And every time I have pickled jalapenos, I can't help but think about that queso. Okay, so here's my taco salad now. Let me see if I can help you out. There's my taco salad. And the juices from my chili is now seeping down into my salad. And it's going to help me out. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. But it's going to help me out with the whole dressing effect. So let's see, I gotta use my spoon to wet my leaves, right? So I'm drizzling that over, and that's really all I need. I'm gonna go to town on this for my lunch, and this is exactly what I'm gonna do with my next container of taco meal prep for my chili taco salad. And that's it. Makes it easy, 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 right? So I hope that kind of helps you see how, yes, you invest a little bit of time on Sunday or Monday. You know, you see people talk about meal prep Monday and Sunday meal prep time or Saturday meal prep time, whatever it is for you. Even for me, I grocery shop on Sunday, and I was already cooking. It was super simple to just go ahead, and while I'm waiting for everything to cook down for my chili, just go ahead and get ahead of the game, get ahead of my schedule. This is a really busy week for me. My appointments and things between the kids and me and the cat and my coaching business, like I have things like back to back to back, and this is going to save me time and energy throughout the week, and I get to stay on point. So, all right. If you guys would like to see more meal planning, more meal prepping, more ideas like this, if you have any other type of health, fitness questions or kind of like life solutions that you're looking for, I would love to be able to show you how I'm able to do it. And if I don't have a great solution for you, I will reach out to one of my teammates and ask them to come and share that solution with you. So I love you guys, and thank you so much, Ashley. Oh, I see you. Hi. Meal prep has been, yes, meal prep is a lifesaver, girl. I know. And this is going to be so good. I got to let you go because I got to eat it. So, all right. Bye, guys. Talk to you later.